Sovereign Platform Group of Companies is one of the fastest growing diversified Indian conglomerates with global footprints. It is setting up offices globally and tying up with companies across the globe from multiple sectors. The company has ventured into real estate and construction, stockbroking and finance, arms and ammunition, mining, airlines, and many other sectors.
Hello and welcome. You're watching Business Today Television. I'm Sakshi Batra, and on this special edition, our focus is on going to be on the mutual fund space. AMFI, the Association of Mutual Funds Association in India, has actually come out with the monthly set of numbers to indicate how the mutual fund industry has grown in the month of January. And therefore, to discuss this, I'm now joined by Mr. Venkat Chalasani, the Chief Executive of AMFI. Mr. Chalasani, good afternoon to you, and good to have you with us on Business Today TV. Good set of numbers again coming out. So equity mutual fund inflows jumping to nearly 2-year highs in January. We've also seen that the net equity mutual fund flows have risen 28% sequentially as well. They're now nearing the 22,000 crore rupees mark as well, and this is the highest since March 2022. On the other hand, we've also seen the SIP flows that have now crossed the 18,000 crore rupees mark for the very first time. So a lot of positives coming about. Tell us, what is your own sense of what are the key factors that are working for the mutual funds industry as of now?
There are 2-3 factors. Good afternoon, Sakshi. Thanks for having me first. There are 2-3 factors that are enabling us to improve the mutual fund story. One, we have the positive data sets and points that are coming out, be it in the form of the budget, the interim budget that has come, put on account, be it in the form of GDP numbers that has come around, which shows that there is going to be a good growth, be it in the form of fiscal deficit numbers which have come, which show that we're going to have the fiscal deficit only at 5.1%. All numbers that are coming up are very, very positive. So that's one part of it. The second thing is we are continuously educating our investors. There is an investment awareness program that is on an ongoing basis, which we're doing it across the country. So positive data points, continuous educating the investors. These are the two things that enabling us to grow in this particular sector.
Okay, so those are the key factors. Let's now break it down further to, have you expound upon each of these factors. Equity mutual fund flows are highest since March of 2022. There is a very strong move, and this is despite the kind of, valuation concerns that we've been looking at from a lot of people, because we've seen all across the broader markets really rallying pretty sharply over the last 6 to 8 months odd. What is the sense from here on, sir, on the equity mutual fund space?
Well, if you look at the January investments that we have seen in the equity markets, we've seen it as a balanced growth in all the sector, all the schemes, both in the large cap, mid cap, and the small cap. If you look at this particular month as compared to the last month, the large cap has grown by around 2,330 crores, and whereas it was negative last month. So people started having a balanced investment across all the schemes. It's not just that mid cap or small cap, it's across all the schemes that they started investing. And the numbers that are coming up, be it in the BFSI sector or in other equity or corporate numbers that are coming out, are all positive, and therefore we're seeing this particular growth across all sectors.
Right. So what is going to be the trend going forward, since this time around we've actually seen that the mid caps have emerged as the focal point of increased investors' interest. It's got an inflow of 2,061 odd crore rupees. That's up over the previous month from 1,393 odd crores. What are the factors driving these changes, that, the shift that's happening among the multi-cap or the mega caps that we have been seeing?
There are one, as I said, the positive numbers are pushing everything. The second thing is the new NFOs that have come. Actually, when you talk about multi-asset fund, there are 3 new schemes that have come up in this particular month, which has garnered around 4,247 crores. So bringing in the new schemes across and then the existing ones and the confidence in the markets. All these factors are resulting in the growth in the, and I see this trend continuing because of the current environment that we are in, be it the political stability that we're looking at, be it the growth factors, be it the investments, both in the private sector and in the public sector. So all these
Absolutely.
factors.
Fair enough, sir. When we talk about the SIP flows, that has been a consistent growth factor for the entire industry to celebrate over the last months now consecutively. Even this month we've seen 18,000 odd crore rupees mark for the first time. A record 18,839 odd crore rupees has been invested by the people via SIPs in January. What is the trajectory going to be going forward from here? And especially like you also alluded to, you know, there's going to be the general elections, there's going to be a lot of political, talk all through the next few months as well. So how do you see this really getting affected or impacted, or do you think that this is going to be largely as a continuation factor?
See, if you look at SIPs, the new SIPs that got added here during this particular month is around 51,84,000. What people and when investors in SIPs do look at a long-term horizon. They don't look at short-term horizon. And that's what we also keep continuously communicate with all the investors. We tell that short-term there can be volatilities, there can be various reasons on account of which the markets can move up and down. But on a long-term basis, SIPs are going to give you a better returns. That's the reason why we are seeing more and more new investors coming into the SIPs. As I said, 51.84 lakhs are the new investors that have come. And one other important thing, that milestone that we crossed is the total investment under SIPs have crossed 10 lakh crores. It is right now 10 lakh 27,000 crores.
Right. Sir, even the assets under management has seen a surge of 4% or to 52.74 lakh crore rupees on a month-on-month basis. How would you really see the trajectory going forward from here? Of course, I did ask you last time around your projected target of 100 lakh crore rupees on the assets under management, and how soon are we going to look at that being achieved? And you said that consistent growth will continue to see on this front as well. Your own sense of, the way it has been growing, and are you happy with the kind of growth that is being seen on the AUM front?
The one thing that has happened in this month, as you all know, in the last quarter, the quarter end, that is in December, you find withdrawals in the liquid funds. You find withdrawal in the liquidity funds, and the growth that has come in this particular month is more on account of course, the investment in equities and also investment into the liquid funds. But as we move forward, the confidence in the markets keep growing, and long-term investments will continue. And we see this particular growth on an average the same time. And the point that we are trying to do is, we want to do the investment awareness program, go into the smaller towns, explain to them, and digitalization is something that we are again focusing upon. Use MFIs, use self-help groups, try to see to it that we go down to the smallest of the towns. In that journey, we'll achieve many more milestones. That's what we're looking at.
Okay. So let's also talk about the debt funds a bit. This space has also witnessed a revival of sorts after 2 consecutive months of outflows. How do you see the trend going forward from here? Are we going to see the investors' interest coming back to this space?
We have seen the RBI monetary policy that has come yesterday, and where we have the interest rates are kept at the same levels. And second important thing is, it was a bit hawkish while and that would keep the interest rates at a higher levels, and that would keep attracting the investors into this particular space. And second important thing is, we are also looking to educate investors about the investment in the liquid scheme, in the fixed income space. And that campaign is going to start very shortly, and we are trying to ensure that there is a constant, continuous investment in this particular area.
Okay. Sir, when we talk about the sectoral funds, there's an increasing investors' interest in the sectoral funds area as well. Could you detail for us in the month of January which are the sectoral funds that really garnered maximum investors' interest, and going forward, what is the trend going to be like? What is looking like at this point in time to you?
Infrastructure story is always a good story. I mean, and you look at the investment which the government expenditure that is going to be there in infrastructure, more than 11 lakh crores. So the that's one area where, and particularly renewable is another area which is catching up. ESG is something that again is something is extremely attractive space. So renewables, infrastructure, these are the ones which are going to be the sectors which will attract more and more investments. And the best part of it is we'll have to wait for the budget as it comes, and
Yeah.
we'll see what else is happening. And going forward, things will be. We are looking at we are as a very positive on the growth of the country on the economy.
Okay. And then last question, sir, since you talked about the budget also, the main budget that will be coming in from now until the budget, what are the key triggers that will keep, the fund flow going and keep the ball rolling as far as both equity and debt funds are concerned, sir?
One, of course, SIPs is something that which will continuously be there. Like as you said, 18,800 crores is what we have garnered in the last month. And that will continue to come into the market and on an ongoing basis. There is not going to be a stop on account of any short-term volatilities. And the other important thing is we are looking at some of the savers are moving into the investor space on a continuous basis. And that's the reason why we are seeing the increase in the number of folios, increase in the number of investor base. And we expect this to continue on an ongoing basis.
Okay. Well, thanks a lot, sir, for being with us on this very special edition and sharing with us some of the key insights from the January data that's coming from AMFI. Strong, flows coming in across the board is what we have really seen. Just a slight dip that on the large caps, but of course, that's been just periodic and with the kind of momentum that we've been seeing. And the growth outlook looks very positive at this point in time as well. Many thanks, sir, for this conversation and hoping for more interactions going forward.
Thank you, Sakshi.
All right, with that, we wrap up this very special edition on the mutual fund flows. Of course, record flows when it comes to SIPs. SIP folios are at a record high. And of course, we are now seeing the fund flows on a monthly basis or escalating to 39 crores rupees odd. Flows are seen through SIPs as well. And equity mutual fund flows also at a 2-year high. Strong numbers there and an indication that the stock markets have a lot of interest among the investors as of now.
Darwin Platform Group of Companies is one of the fastest growing diversified Indian conglomerates with global footprints. It is setting up offices globally and tying up with companies across the globe for multiple sectors. The company has ventured into real estate and construction, stockbroking and finance, arms and ammunition, mining, airlines, and many other sectors. Darwin.
Celebrate 32 years of leadership in business news with Business Today. From the groundbreaking AI cover of Sundar Pichai to PM Modi's exclusive on G20, we redefine headlines. Now our 32nd anniversary issue explores India 2029, the 5-year agenda with industry titans sharing exclusive insights. So, just BT it for unparalleled perspectives. Business Today, 32 years of leadership, innovation, and business brilliance. Subscribe now. In today's rapidly evolving business environment, when risk is omnipresent, managing risks is no longer just about ticking a few boxes. Businesses need to maintain a panoramic view of risks to stay ahead of the curve. Join us to explore how organizations can rethink risk to unlock new possibilities and become fit for future. At PwC presents De-Risking the Future in collaboration with Business Today.
Hello and welcome to Business Today Television. I'm Siddharth Zarabi and with me now is Dinesh Khara, the chairman of the State Bank of India. Welcome, Mr. Khara. The quarterly performance and the numbers, profit down at 9,164 crore on account of a one-time exceptional charge of almost 7,100 crore. Beyond that, how do you read and explain the financial performance in the recently passed quarter?
Thank you very much. I would like to thank you for having me on your channel. And also, when it comes to the highlights, our net interest income for the quarter third has increased by 4.59% YOY. ROE stands at 0.94% and ROE at 19.47% for 9 months, which is actually up by about 88 basis points as far as the ROE is concerned. But for this exceptional item, this ROA would have been 1.06 and ROE would have been 22%. We have been consistently delivering ROE in excess of 15% for last 6 quarters onwards. We are observing robust growth across all the segment of advances. And all the segment of advances have clocked double-digit growth. Corporate book has crossed 10 trillion and SME book has crossed 4 trillion and the retail book has crossed 13 trillion. Gross NPA is at 2.42%, which has improved by 72 basis points on a YOY basis. And it's the lowest level in more than 10 years. Net NPA stands at 0.64%, which is also an improvement of 13 basis points on a YOY basis. Also, our digital platform is doing very well. We have almost 95,000 crore plus advances have been sourced using the analytical leads, which is actually a growth of 37% on a YOY basis, and is a reflection of our commitment for scaling up the digital capabilities.
Mr. Khara, do you continue to expect that you will deliver the same kind of outcomes as far as NPAs are concerned, because you spoke about it being at the best level in almost 10 years?
I hope to continue at this level, and I've not talked about our credit cost, which is actually 0.25. So, which again is one of the lowest. So, I think the way we have strengthened our underwriting practices, the way we have streamlined our collection processes, and also the way we do the control and follow-up of our loan book, we are quite confident that we should be in a position to have similar outcomes as far as our asset quality is concerned.
Mr. Khara, what's the outlook as far as the loan growth is concerned? Because there is strong and broad-based loan growth, almost 14% on an annual basis, with domestic loans up 15%.
Yeah. So, in fact, we are seeing growth in all the sub-segments, right, from retail, SME, agriculture, corporate. So, we are seeing growth everywhere, and even in corporate also, it is a double-digit growth which we have seen, and we have a very